what the art brings to this convention centre is it's very unique. There's colour, there's kind of life, it brings a warmth and it invites people into the building.
Seeing people here and being able to share our stories, that's what I find so special, is this has brought life to the city.
Welcome to the New Zealand International Convention Centre and to our public open day.
We're very, very lucky today to have two of the artists for two of the largest art installations that we have. Our glass panels and glass fins, Iwi Rau, and the terracotta wall that you might have seen on the laneway on the north end of the building, Pekerangi.
In 2016, I was approached to create a proposal for the glass that's on the 5th floor of the building. It felt like quite a huge weight of responsibility to what's the kind of imagery that you could create on this building that talks about us, of this land, this place. And so it made me sort of do a deep dive into thinking about what that was and what those experiences were for me. And so it took me back to my childhood. I had a really free-range childhood in the Hokianga, near the Waipua forest. I could just walk out the door into the forest. And when I started to think about what was it, what could I create that was an experience that I could share, the feeling of light and colour, when you look up and the greens are kind of ignited by the sun, for me those were the things that were the most important and that I wanted to communicate in this artwork.
I was asked to create an artwork for the spine wall, which was the ceramic heavy anchor of the building. For me, it's really important, being Māori, that first and foremost is a huge part of my work. It's about that connection between us as Māori and finding our way back to our tēpuna and understanding how incredibly amazing that is and what that does for your soul. When I first learned about the spine wall, I immediately envisioned a korowai. The wall was over 100 metres in length and 31 metres high, and ran along the exterior and wrapped inside the interior of the building at each end. So to honour and connect with Sara's canopy, the spine wall was conceived as the trunks of our native rako, or trees, travelling from the whenua upward to Sara's canopy of leaves.
So the glasswork comprises of 475 really large glass panels. The fins that are on Hobson and Nelson Street are 10 metres tall. A very tricky install. Also, the work was manufactured in Singapore, so there's a complexity to that as well. The glass actually went up very early on the outside of the building, and they could do 3 fins per day. It was quite a slow and careful process. Installation was a big process, very different than when you normally create an artwork and it goes into the nice clean space at the end. This work was put up piece by piece and as part of the structure of the building. So people would just see part of it appearing, and it wasn't until the end that you really got the full picture.
My mahi is composed of over 13,500 terracotta tiles and spans an area of 3,360 square metres, and the wall itself is over 100 metres long. It's a leap of faith. I approached it like it was one of my paintings at an intimate scale, and I just had to believe that it was going to do what it needed to do at a larger scale. Individually, our works are titled Mine, Pekerangi, and Sara's Iwi Rau. Together, the works are titled Te Pekerangi or Te Iwi Rau, a name gifted to us by Kaumātua Tautoko Wataka of Ngāti Whātua Ōrākei. These titles carry layered meanings, evoking the korowai, our whenua, rising upward, protection and unity.
I have a really strong belief in public art, that it adds to the fabric of a city and it tells stories and it kind of communicates. And so to see these two works on this scale, it feels like there is a celebration of art, of culture, and being able to, have this work here that will be here for many, many decades is exciting. It's exciting to think, oh my goodness, maybe my grandchildren might see it.